In Hulu's Under the Bridge, Cam spends time at the foster home, Seven Oaks, raising questions about the past events that led her there. This drama miniseries fictionalizes the true story of the murder of Rena Verk, a 14-year-old girl who gets beaten up and murdered by a group of her peers. Many of the teenagers involved in the attack on Rena lived at the Seven Oaks foster home. The entire story is filtered through the perspective of two adults involved in the investigation, Lily Gladstone's Cam Bentland and Riley Keough's Rebecca Godfrey. These two Under the Bridge characters help shape the narrative and the perception of the teens involved in the crime. Rebecca develops a deep connection with Warren Glowatsky due to her past, continually asserting that Warren was an innocent person who made a mistake. However, Cam has a very different perception of perpetrators due to her experiences as a foster child. The true backstory of Cam and the perspective differences between the two characters finally come to a head in the finale of Under the Bridge. Cam reveals she briefly lived in Under the Bridge's foster home as a child. Cam lived in Seven Oaks before being adopted. Cam, Lily Gladstone, looks over her shoulder in Under the Bridge. When Rebecca goes to Seven Oaks in Under the Bridge, she mentions that an old friend used to live there. Cam later reveals that she was the one who lived in the foster home briefly. It turns out that Cam spent time there after being taken from her family and before being adopted by the Bentlands. The government stated that she was abused by her birth family, which was grounds for her being taken into provincial custody. However, it turns out that the bruises they referenced were actually her birthmarks. While there, she was put into the Adopt Indian and Métis (AIM) program, which she discovered in the finale of Under the Bridge. When Cam was adopted, the family changed her name from the given name Mary Elizabeth George to Cam Bentland, further stripping her of any connection to her past. The true story behind the AIM project and Cam's adoption in Under the Bridge. The AIM program was run by the Saskatchewan government in the late 1960s. Despite the fact that Cam is a fictionalized character, the AIM program referenced in Under the Bridge was a real program originally implemented by the Saskatchewan government from 1967 to 1969. In the 50s and 60s, the government phased out residential schools but still wanted to remove First Nations children from their homes, via Indigenous foundations. This caused an event called the 60s Scoop, where First Nations children were taken from their homes, often involuntarily, at exponential rates and placed in the custody of the government.